How's it going, guys? My name is Jason with Hunter's Friend, and today I'm showing you the Hostage Containment Rest by Octane. Now, this is hands down one of the best-selling arrow rests we've ever carried, if not one of the best-selling arrow rests on the market ever. It is a containment rest, so there's no moving parts or anything like that. It just sits there and holds the arrow and does its job. It's extremely easy to tune. It's got an aluminum bracket, and I'll spare you the big words. It does have a bit of a plastic housing, but it's extremely durable, and it does hold up to the test. It's easy to paper tune, and the good thing about containment rests in general is once you get them paper tuned, because they have no moving parts like you'd see on the drop away, they usually stay paper tuned until you actually go to adjust them again or something like that. So that is why a lot of people go with containment rests, just because they're so user friendly and extremely easy to maintain compared to something like a drop away. The Hostage itself, a lot of people know it. There is something I would like to address as far as a couple of things that we run into a lot in reviews and customer feedback. One thing that we get often is that we hear about the brushes wearing out, and well, mostly we hear stories of people saying the brushes wear out. We have honestly never really ran into a legitimate case of the brushes actually burning up with a few shots or anything like you would hear in reviews. Honestly, I've had a Hostage for many years, and I have put countless thousands of shots through the thing, and I have rotated the bottom brush over, but that was just due to a little bit of wear, and I was just doing it to be cautious. But other than that, I've not had any of that kind of issue. But to rotate them, if you do start seeing a little bit of wear, all you do is take these little set screws out that'll loosen the brushes. You just remove this brush, move it over, and just rotate them like you would tires on the car. By doing that, you'll put this one here, that one there, and you'll have a fresh brush on the bottom, and you'll be good to go. Now, we have seen brushes get burned up extremely fast, and that has been something we've heard about, but literally almost every time that's ever popped up, it was the same kind of same reason causing it, and it was technically a form of user error. And when that did happen, it was almost always this. People were using arrow collars, so they call them bulldog collars, I just call them arrow collars, and as you see, by doing that, there's a lot of points of friction with these collars, so they're not really meant to be used on something that has brushes as part of its setup. So if you use it on a Hostage, it digs into the brush every shot. So by doing this, it's basically sending a grinder through your rest every time you shoot, and that will, yes, absolutely cause the brushes to wear out quickly. I mean, just by doing it a time or two, you can kind of see where they fluffed out. So that's definitely not supposed to be used in these situations, and like I said, almost every time we've ever ran into that, it was just because of that little reason. The only other real issue we've ever ran into or heard about was that it was tearing people's fletchings off, and again, it was usually a pretty simple remedy, just a small mistake. But this arrow rest does require you to have a cock fletch up configuration, so when you shoot, your odd fletch will be up like that. So the fletchings will pass through the openings without actually making any kind of a contact. And when you actually go to shoot, it happens so fast, the arrow basically lifts, and it barely makes much contact with the actual brushes anyway, and it's just a smooth pass through. If you don't cock fletch up and say you cock fletch down, which happened, it actually popped up a handful of times, so that's why I'm mentioning it. But when you shoot, it's going to clearly make contact and rip your fletchings off, and that has come up before, and that was the other common, easily remedied issue that we heard about. Outside of that, legitimate issues, there really wasn't. I mean, every part on Earth can have a malfunction here or there, but as far as just doing its job, it does it. There's not really much to go wrong there. Like I said, if you do start seeing wear, you can just rotate them, and I've had to do that once on mine, and so many tons and tons of shots, so it's not something I legitimately think will pop up on you. Another bonus is that this rest can be switched from right-handed to left-handed. You just pop this little screw out, there's a nut in there, and all you do is flip the bracket. Like literally, you just take it out, flip this over, put the screw back in, and then you've got a left-handed version. So that's always nice. Tunability is super easy. This is a rest we use as often as we can. Like if we've got a bow package set up with a different type of rest that's not tuning properly, our first plan of attack is to throw one of these on there, or some type of containment rest, and see if it tunes. Usually, almost always, it will, and if it does, we know that there's something fishy with that particular rest on that particular setup. But we use these to help iron out problems on other setups. That's just how well they work. So again, that is the Octane Hostage, and if you're in the market for a good arrow rest that's just going to do its job, once you get it set up, it's just going to stay there and do what you need it to do, then I really can't recommend it enough. I've put this in the hands of many friends and family members and countless customers over the years, so I definitely trust it. But that is the Octane Hostage, and it is definitely worth a look if you're in the market for this kind of thing.